The dragon scales cannot be penetrated by any earthly object, except for my phallus.
Are you saying you've had sex with a dragon?
Hello everybody, so I'm going to make this quick, I'm going to make this dirty. We managed to get top 12 at the recent remote regional. The top cut was top 24, top 4 got the mat and deck box, top 8 got just the mat, and then everyone else in the top 24 got an invite, and I managed to get 12th place, so I'm pretty happy about that. We played Blue Eyes, and we will just get straight into it. So we're playing just 2 vanilla Blue Eyes. You need them, you love them, you hate them when you brick on them. You almost want to run 3 at times, but honestly 2 is the max that I'm willing to go at right now, unless a new card comes out or something that changes the sport to where we could justify the 3rd. Triple Maiden. Maiden is beautiful, wonderful, great for getting True Light out and everything, extending, making your synchros, you know, she's just great. Sage, I love Sage. The times you do get to normal summon Sage twice in a single turn and search out like 2 effect veilers, that's the best. 3 wishes. I know some people are wishy-washy on this and decide to play 2 instead. I decided on 3 because I'd rather see it than not, and even if it does eat Nash, and if I ever open 2, I would just pitch 1 to use 1. So. And for our other Blue Eyes spell, we are just running Roar the Blue-Eyed Dragon. I did think about running Ultimate Fusion, but I just decided against it. None of the topping lists have had it, so I just went with just the 1 Roar. I did try 2 and 2, 2 wishes, 2 Roar, but I just found it was a little too awkward, so I'm happy with this. Mausoleum of White, of course, to get off Spirits. Then I have Majesty, our Swords of Blackout, and True Light, of course. So, fairly standard stuff when it comes to the Blue Eyes package. I am not reinventing any wheels anytime soon. Then we move on to our Primite engine. I got triple Ether Barrel, triple Lordly Load, 1 Drill Beam. Honestly, I love Drill Beam. I am tempted to play a second, but I want to keep this deck as low and close to 40 as I could, so I can justify it at this time. And otherwise, I'm just very happy that when I pulled these, they were $5 secrets, and now they're like $80-something. So, you know, I deserve that. I really deserve that after my boxes of Rhoda that I opened. And then we're playing the 1 Magnemut as our target for Heretic Steals. I'm not playing Neo Kaiser Seahorse right now. 1 Prosperity just to help you dig. Especially going second in games 2 and 3 to find our board breakers, or even just going first to find our judgments and other things. 3 talents and 1 called by. I found this to actually be very good this weekend. I was able to punish hand traps a decent amount with the talents, and even when I'd get rolled, I'd look at my opponent's hand. Oftentimes they'd have like more hand traps, but then just like 1 piece of engine, and just spinning back that piece of engine always felt so good. And called by was always good to have, just in case, and yeah, even it can act as disruption against a lot of decks too. So going first, setting it, nothing wrong with that, in the event you don't get hand trapped. We are playing triple Ash, triple Veiler, triple Foolos, including the QCR, place at Imperm, and double Purge. Purge was kind of the unsung MVP of the tournament. I did resolve it quite a bit, and when it managed to hit people where it hurts pretty badly. And overall, yeah, I did not miss Nibiru. I did not miss Ghost Ogre much. I did not feel I really needed them. And in response, actually, I also never got nibbed once, and I never got hit with Ogre once either. But then again, I did not play any mirror matches throughout my 8 rounds. Moving on to the extra, just for our links, we got 2 Spirits, 1 Seals, 1 Lina. Nothing too fancy here. I decided not to play SP just because I didn't really find that it would be very useful compared to what I decided to run instead. And then the Lina, I also like Lina just for the White Force matchup. You can just steal their White Force names and go into Spirit. You know, because they're generally level 4 or lower light spellcasters. Moving from there to our synchros, we're playing double Spirit Dragon. Then for our Spirit Dragon targets, it's these 4, kind of usual suspects now. The Crimson Dragon package is just too high risk, low it's high risk, high reward, but ultimately it's just not a worthwhile value proposition at this time. I'd rather just see something consistent, and just the game plan with Blue Eyes right now is just be nice and grindy. So I'd rather just have things that, you know, either revive things at the end and are an Omni Negate, or just make your board extremely sticky, blow up back row, and just, you know, are good in the mirror match. The only two I ever actually made, I never made either of these this weekend just because I never needed to. I think there was one opportunity for Lightstorm, but I went with a different play instead. However, when it comes to these two, obviously this is an Omni Negate for effects on field, great card, and then it floats into one of your Blue Eyes Engrave. And Azure Eyes I did make once in response to a Tornado Dragon getting summoned by a Rizio player. They were planning on blowing up my True Light, but they didn't understand how Azure Eyes worked. So what ended up happening was Azure Eyes was Chainlink 1, they Chainlink 2 Tornado Dragon, blew up my True Light, my Azure Eyes resolves, and then from there the True Light effect activates in a new Chainlink to destroy my board. And because Azure Eyes protected it, I kept my board, and that helped me win that game. So yeah, definitely happy with Azure Eyes, and even if you don't really have the even if you just run it just in case, quote unquote, I still would rather run either Azure Eyes or nothing over the Crimson package right now, just because you need as much utility out of the extra as you can right now. For our Wishes target, it was Neo Ultimate, of course, and then Tyrant Dragon, just to help clean up. I did actually reset a Purge off of this. I discarded a Purge, for example, for Wish, reset off Tyrant, and just was able to go from there. Tyrant's such a nice card, I love that thing. And then finally, 2 Tyrant is also something I could justify, but I felt I didn't need it all day. Then finally we have our Xyz. This is purely our Ultimate Slayer target, and then these two are for when you're in a Rizio matchup or you want to just steal things and make sure that they don't have it back. Yeah, I never made Typhon once, I never made Zeus once, and I never actually resolved Ultimate Slayer on a Xyz monster all day today, even though I had so many Rizio matchups, but that's just kind of how the cookie crumbles sometimes. And moving finally onto the side, we are playing 6 anti-Malice cards. We are playing triple Chaos Hunter, triple Lancia. Chaos Hunter being a big 2500 body actually helped me push for game in near time versus a Malice player, so I'm very happy for that. And Lancia, of course, is just ends their turn, right? Moving on from there, however, we are also playing for going general going second cards. We're playing triple Ultimate Slayer, Feather Duster, Lightning Storm. So I never actually saw Feather Duster, nor did I see Ultimate Slayers whenever I sided them in, but it's a great card. I think it's definitely worth a side slot at this time. I know some people like the Metal Tronus or whatever, but I feel like Ultimate Slayer is a bit better in this scenario. And in this deck, we do run basically a rainbow extra deck, so you can send whatever whenever you need it. And then I played Harpies just to obviously be for back row, and I played the Lightning Storm not so much with the intention of ever destroying monsters. I just needed basically a second Harpies. So yeah, and it did actually come in handy. It baited out a Solemn, and then I was able to clear a board thanks to that. Finally, I'm playing for going first cards, 1 skill drain, triple Judgment. So the Judgment is fairly standard right now. Lots of people are siding it in just because it's so good, and yeah, it's just good to be more resilient against the board breakers. Skill drain I never saw all day. I would maybe replace it with second Lightning Storm, but I think that's up to preference. Yeah, so I'm sure some of you that are familiar with Blue Eyes builds, yeah, this is basically a slightly modified version of the YCS Sydney third place list. The only real changes I made in the main deck, I added, I believe I added just the third Fululos. And maybe one other thing. But yeah, and the extra deck, I took out the SP for the Azure Eyes, and I'm happy with that. Yeah, otherwise, I will link my Blue Sky thread that has all my matchups, but just off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure it was a Rizio, another Rizio. Round 3 was Illusion Chimera. Round 4, I believe, was my first loss to Raizo Mitsurugi, which I know the Raizo Mitsurugi player ended up actually second place. Round 5 was versus Malice, which was, oh boy, that was a match. Round 6 was versus Merlantian. I did lose that one. That was my second loss. That guy ended up 28th overall. And then from there, I had Striker Tenpai, and finally just Tenpai Keshtier Feetsmith. But yeah, overall, I like the deck. I felt it performed very well for me. And I think with a bit more practice, I'll get even better with it. You know, I think 42 is a decent number because I feel like Blue Eyes is kind of weird, where it's like it's brick prone, but at the same time, you don't mind diluting it just a bit, just so your garnets aren't so concentrated. For example, against the Merlantian player, the reason I lost going into game 2 was just because I saw double Blue Eyes, Judgment, Imperm, and some other dead card at the time, and yeah, it was just not enough to push through all of their effects. But yeah, anyways, that will conclude this quick and easy deck profile. Hope you guys had a good time watching it, and thank you for those that cheered me on. And yeah, hopefully I'll go back and try to make a run back so I can try and get the 10E playmat, just because I need that as a Sorzo aficionado / the CEO of the Sorzo Bozos. Gotta respect my 10Es. Anyways, take care.